What if I told you that one of the most powerful men in technology just predicted that 1 billion robots will enter the workforce, and that this is not a question of if, but when? Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company whose chips power almost every AI system on the planet, made a startling declaration that has sent shockwaves through the tech world and left millions of workers wondering, is my job safe? Today, we're breaking down exactly what he said, why he said it, and more importantly, what this means for your career in 2026 and beyond. Stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 industries that will be hit first, and the surprising skills that could actually make you more valuable in the age of robots. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we cover the most important developments in AI and robotics, specifically focusing on how these technologies are reshaping the job market. In this comprehensive breakdown, we're diving deep into Jensen Huang's recent statements about the future of robotics and AI. This isn't just another tech prediction. This is coming from the man whose company has made over $100 billion in the past year alone by powering the AI revolution. Here's what we're covering today. First, we'll examine Jensen Huang's exact claims about the AI bubble and why he calls it a myth. Second, we'll look at the billion robot prediction and the timeline he's suggesting. Third, I'll break down the 5 industries most at risk of robotic displacement. Fourth, we'll analyze the energy implications of this robotic future. And finally, we'll discuss actionable strategies for workers who want to stay ahead of this wave. This is one of the most important videos I've made, because the decisions you make in the next 12 to 24 months could determine your career trajectory for the next decade. Let's dive in. Let's start with Jensen Huang's most controversial claim, that the idea of an AI bubble is completely wrong. Now, you've probably heard skeptics saying that AI investment is overhyped, that companies are throwing money at technology that won't deliver returns, and that we're heading for another dot-com-style crash. Jensen Huang disagrees entirely. In his analysis, what we're witnessing isn't a bubble. It's a fundamental shift in how computing works. And here's his reasoning. The demand for AI computing power is growing faster than supply. Every major company, from Microsoft to Google to Meta, is scrambling to build AI infrastructure. NVIDIA literally cannot make chips fast enough. But here's what concerns me as an analyst. When someone whose company directly profits from AI investment says there's no bubble, we should be skeptical. That said, the underlying numbers do support massive growth. AI applications are being deployed in healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and creative industries at unprecedented rates. The question isn't whether AI is real. The question is, what happens to the humans whose jobs these AI systems can now perform? Now let's talk about the most striking claim, 1 billion robots entering the workforce. Jensen Huang's logic is actually quite straightforward. He points out that when we invented cars, we didn't build 100 of them. We built billions of them. They became ubiquitous because they were genuinely useful. He argues that robots will follow the same pattern. Once they become capable enough and cheap enough, they'll be everywhere. At CES 2026, we saw Hyundai's Atlas humanoid robot win the top prize. This machine can navigate complex environments, manipulate objects with precision, and learn new tasks through AI. It's not science fiction anymore. In my analysis, here's what's different about this prediction versus past robot hype. First, the AI is finally good enough. Previous generations of robots could only follow pre-programmed routines. Modern robots using large language models and vision AI can actually adapt to new situations. Second, the economics are shifting. As these systems scale, the cost per unit drops dramatically. We're already seeing humanoid robots being quoted at prices comparable to luxury cars. Third, and this is crucial, labor costs keep rising while robot costs keep falling. The crossover point, where robots become cheaper than human workers for many tasks, is approaching faster than most people realize. So which industries will feel this first? Based on my research, here are the 5 sectors most vulnerable to robotic displacement. Number 1, manufacturing. This one's obvious. Factory robots are already widespread, but humanoid robots will accelerate this by handling tasks that previously required human flexibility. Expected impact: 30 to 40% of manufacturing jobs at risk by 2030. Number 2, warehousing and logistics. Amazon already has over 750,000 robots in its facilities. With humanoid robots able to pick and pack any item, the remaining human workers in these facilities face significant displacement. Expected impact: 50% of warehouse jobs at risk. Number 3, food service. Companies like Sweetgreen are already deploying automated kitchens. Fast food chains are testing robot workers. The economics here are compelling. Robots don't need healthcare, don't call in sick, and work 24/7. Expected impact: 25 to 35% of food service jobs at risk. Number 4, retail. Between self-checkout, automated stocking, and AI customer service, retail jobs are being squeezed from multiple directions. Expected impact: 30% of retail positions at risk. Number 5, and this one surprises people, healthcare. Not doctors themselves, but nursing assistants, hospital orderlies, and administrative staff. Robots can already assist with patient transport, monitoring, and basic care tasks. Expected impact: 20% of healthcare support jobs at risk. The common thread here is routine physical labor combined with some cognitive tasks. If your job involves predictable movements in a structured environment, you should be planning your next move now. Now, Jensen Huang also addressed something that many people overlook: energy. 1 billion robots need a lot of power. And not just the robots themselves. The AI systems that control them require massive data centers consuming enormous amounts of electricity. This is actually one of Huang's key arguments against the AI bubble thesis. He points out that countries and companies are investing hundreds of billions of dollars in new power generation specifically to support AI infrastructure. You don't spend that kind of money on a bubble. In my analysis, this energy demand creates both problems and opportunities. The problems are obvious: environmental strain, grid capacity issues, and rising electricity costs. But the opportunities are interesting. This is driving massive investment in nuclear power, solar, and fusion research. The AI industry may actually accelerate our transition to clean energy because they need reliable, abundant power that fossil fuels struggle to provide. For workers, the energy sector is actually one area where employment might grow because of AI and robotics rather than shrink. Technicians, engineers, and maintenance workers for next-generation power systems will be in high demand. Let's be honest about something that tech leaders often gloss over: displacement is painful. When we talk about 30% of manufacturing jobs at risk, we're talking about millions of real people with families, mortgages, and limited options for retraining. In my analysis, the technology sector has a blind spot here. They see efficiency gains and economic growth. They don't always see the human cost of rapid transition. But here's what's also true: pretending this isn't happening won't protect anyone. The workers who thrive in this transition will be those who start adapting now, not those who assume things will stay the same. And that brings me to the most important part of this video. Let's acknowledge the genuine concerns. Mass unemployment is a real possibility if transitions happen too quickly. History shows that technological revolutions eventually create more jobs than they destroy, but the eventually can be decades. Wealth concentration is accelerating. The companies that own the robots and AI systems are capturing more and more economic value. Social instability follows economic instability. Regions that depend on manufacturing or logistics jobs could face serious upheaval. These aren't fears to dismiss. They're realities to prepare for. But here's the other side. New job categories we can't even imagine today will emerge. When the internet arrived, nobody predicted social media manager or app developer as careers. Quality of life could improve dramatically. If robots handle dangerous, repetitive, or degrading work, humans can focus on creative, social, and meaningful tasks. Productivity gains could fund better social safety nets, if we make the right policy choices. The question isn't whether this change is coming. It's whether we navigate it wisely. Here's my practical advice based on everything we've discussed. First, develop skills that complement AI rather than compete with it. Creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, and physical work in unpredictable environments are harder to automate. Second, stay adaptable. The specific jobs of 2030 don't exist yet, but the meta skill of learning quickly will always be valuable. Third, watch the signals. If you work in one of the at-risk industries, start building alternative options now. Don't wait until your job disappears. Fourth, consider the AI industry itself. Someone has to build, maintain, and manage these systems. Technical skills in AI, robotics, and data science are in massive demand. So here's the bottom line. Jensen Huang is betting NVIDIA's future on a world with billions of robots. Given his track record and his company's position at the center of the AI revolution, we should take this seriously. The three key takeaways: 1. The billion-robot future is a matter of when, not if. Plan accordingly. 2. The next 24 months are critical for career positioning. Don't wait. 3. The humans who thrive will be those who adapt fastest, not necessarily those with the most technical skills today. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Jensen Huang is right? Is your job at risk? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. We're covering the AI and robotics news that actually affects your life, not just the hype. Next week, we're doing a deep dive into the specific companies building humanoid robots and when they're planning to deploy at scale. You won't want to miss that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.